Welcome. I'm Sue Madison, and I'd like to take you through some steps today that will help you to thrive in the midst of your crisis. That could be loss of employment, loss of your business, or another crisis that you're facing. No matter what that is, I'm sure you are feeling fear, uncertainty, and anxiety. And those feelings are being driven by financial pressures. How do I pay my bills? How do I pay my mortgage? How do I pay my staff? Also driven by overwhelm and stress. There is so much going on at once that you are finding it really difficult to know what steps to take, who to talk to, what are the things that you should be doing? And instead you find yourself frozen in your tracks, unsure what to do next. And the risk with all of that is that you isolate yourself. It is just so overwhelming that you withdraw. You find it difficult to talk to people. And so instead, you put your head under the blanket, hoping that it's all just going to go away. But it's a bad dream. The risk is, though, that when you do decide to pull your head out from under that blanket, that there's nothing left. So what I'm going to do is walk you through some steps and actions that you can take that are going to help you bring stability to your financial situation. Replace overwhelm and stress with control and clarity. And instead of feeling isolated and withdrawing, know what you can do to be connected. We're going to start with the financials, checking in and identifying. The first thing you need to do is get out your balance sheet. Have a look at your debtors. Who owes you money? Make a list of them and how much they owe you. Have a look at your creditors. Who do you owe money to? And again, make a list and how much it is. Have a look at your cash. What do you have on hand? What do you have access to right now? Then have a look at your income and expenditure. To start with, look at what it is normally. Where do you get your income from? What are your expense items? Write them all down. Have them in front of you, black and white. Then once you have it all there, you can start to negotiate. Call each of your debtors and ask them to pay you. Same for your creditors. Call each of them. Negotiate payment terms. The aim here is to try and get as much cash in quickly and reduce how quickly the cash goes back out. Same with your expenditure. Go through each item. Are there items there that you can either freeze or delay? Now, the government has put in place in the current crisis measures that will help you with some of this too. So have a look at what the options are for you there. Negotiate with your bank. Negotiate with your utility providers. If you're paying a lease, negotiate with your landlord. What you are trying to do, as I said, is get as much cash in quickly and avoid having cash go out as much as possible in the short term. Again, once you have that black and white in front of you, you can start looking at options. If you have no income at the moment, it could be that you can operate your business under a different model to at least start bringing in some income. It could be that there is another business who services the same clients as you do, and you could actually reach out to them and have a conversation around partnering with them. Have a brainstorm. Is there something that maybe you could do together that brings up a new product or service that you haven't looked at previously? Now, there might even be a product or service that you can bring into your own business that you haven't considered before. There might even be a new market that you haven't looked at. And there's opportunities for you to expand or do something differently. In that process, it's important that you let go of the outcome. The more that you, or the further ahead that you try and look and expect certain outcomes, that is going to drive your fear and uncertainty. It's important to let go of the outcome. Come back to the present. All you can control is where you are right here, right now. We have 5 pillars of well-being. They're financial, emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. Now, I've talked a little bit about what you can do from a financial perspective. Emotionally, or our emotional well-being, to manage that, we need to recognize that our feelings drive our thoughts, and then in return, our thoughts drive our feelings. What is key is to control your mind. Then looking at our mental well-being. Are you around negative people or positive people? Because they're going to influence your thinking. So it's important to take time out and think about what is the input. What are you looking at on social media? What are you watching on television? Be aware of how much that is influencing your state of mind and take control of that. Then there's your physical well-being. What nutrition are you putting into your body? That will have an impact on how well you are functioning. What food are you giving to your brain? Are you getting out and getting enough fresh air and exercise? And finally, spiritual well-being. We are all connected, and we're connected to our natural environment as well as a higher authority, a greater self. We are all one together. And so it's important that we build in disciplines and practices that support each of these areas of our well-being. There are things like meditation. They help us to withdraw from external factors and focus on what's going on internally. And that helps us to gain that control over our mind. Another practice is actually getting outside in bare feet, walking on the grass or walking on the sand on the beach. That process gives us an ability to ground ourselves, to connect with the natural world. So there are a number of practices and disciplines that we can incorporate into our daily routine that are going to support us in managing that overwhelm, that stress that we're feeling, and build control and clarity into our daily routine. When we implement those, we are able to find our passion. Now, it could be that when you went into business, you had a very clear passion, and that was your reason for taking it up. But over time, as you've got caught up in day-to-day operational issues and managing that, you've lost sight of what your passion is. By implementing some of these disciplines and practices, you give yourself the opportunity to revisit that, to really sit back and reconnect with what is it that drove you in the first place to take up that business. Could also be that you find yourself in a job that you really just don't love. You have an opportunity here to revisit that, to think about what is it that at the core of your being is who you truly want to be. When you do that, it's important that you find your tribe. Who are the people that you can connect with that are like-minded, that have the same vision as you, that can support you, hold you accountable, and help you move forward? So identifying those people is really important. You might find them in an association if you're in a particular industry, or depending on what your passion is, then you might find your tribe that's related to your passion. The more that you can bring all of this together, not only does it help you to find that stability and control that you're looking for, and helps you to rise above your circumstances, it then gives you the ability to contribute to others. And you can take your experiences, you can take your learnings, and then you can actually give to others and help them to achieve their goals, help them to grow. These steps collectively give you an opportunity to thrive in the midst of your crisis. Now, if you'd like to do a deep dive with me and explore these further, I'm offering an opportunity to do that over 6 consecutive sessions. They'll be running online with me personally. So we'll have 6 sessions where we can look at your individual circumstance and help you to find the most effective solution. The investment for you is a one-off payment of $497. Alternatively, you can do 3 payments of $175. If this is of interest to you, then I will be able to give you the appropriate contact details. Just reach out. These are clear steps that you can take to help you overcome this fear, anxiety, and uncertainty that you're feeling right at the moment. And the thing is that action brings clarity. So just by starting, that's going to help you move forward. And with each step forward, you will gain more clarity. I wish you well. Thank you for listening, and talk to you soon.